Dundee United rolled into Motherwell yesterday full of confidence. After all, the new manager had just secured a place in the CIS Cup semi-finals. Inside the ground, Motherwell boss Terry Butcher wasn't showing the strain of 5 straight league defeats as he kept his circle of friends nice and loose in the run-up to kick-off. Sadly for everyone, it was a very wet day for a teddy bear's picnic. Although over 5,000 did brave the conditions, the home fans well aware of the game's significance.
Well, it's very serious, isn't it? We've lost every other relegation candidate this year, so this one's a real important one for us.
If they lose this, that's 4 points ahead Dundee United. So it's a very important game to win.
I think we just lack that bit of experience, and I would hope for January that we'd be able to pick up some experienced players and bolster particularly the central defence and midfield.
The only way's up for us, you know. Got to try and work it out the best we can, and if Terry Butcher gets it right, we get it right. If no, we go down, but you know what I mean, if there's true Motherwell fans out there, they'll support them if we go down, and that's it.
No James McFadden yesterday, but his fan club turned up as usual, and they hardly had time to take their seats before their side was a goal down. Charlie Miller's cross dispatched by Jim Hamilton after only 28 seconds. Surely the quickest goal of the season so far. He only started because Stephen Thompson was injured and he'll now miss Scotland's trip to Portugal. The bonus for Hamilton, his first goal of the season. And number 2 wasn't long in coming either. 23 minutes on the clock, Motherwell vulnerable to the cross from the left once again, and Hamilton happy to pick up the pieces. He couldn't believe his luck, and Motherwell looked like a team in real trouble. When you're bottom of the league and 2 goals down to the team above you, it's time to roll up the sleeves. Dirk Lehmann set up Stephen Ferguson, who wasn't far away from pulling a goal back. United weren't content to sit on their lead though, and almost went even further ahead when the ball broke to Derek Lilly. The offside flag was already up when he buried the rebound. Plenty of power in the shot, but Francois Dubardeau well positioned. Now Motherwell thought they had drawn level just before half-time when Dirk Lehmann got on the end of a free kick. But the effort was ruled offside when it appears the German was at worst level with United's last man. Lehmann did eventually get a well-deserved goal 10 minutes before the end when he converted Stephen Pearson's corner. One thing about Terry Butcher's side is they never give up, but this was too little, too late. Indeed, Craig Easton was mighty close to making the last few minutes a lot more comfortable for United. But Dubardeau in goal refused to be beaten again. Easton still to find the net this season. Well pushed forward looking for a point, but Stephen Pearson was foiled by David McCracken's block. And up the other end, Jim Hamilton wanted a hat-trick, or at least a penalty for the goalkeeper's challenge. Nothing doing though, but plenty for Hamilton to smile about nonetheless.
Only my second start of the season. Says it's been frustrating, been injured and things like that, but it says 2 goals. The strikers are judged on goals, and gladly I've got 2 today.
And a word on your manager as well, how he's started to turn things around for the club.
The team spirit and things like that has been tremendous since Paul came in, Morris and that as well. Says the boys are mucking together, and it just shows in the park, because off the park it's a brilliant standard as well.
The home side's frustration spilled over on the final whistle. Dirk Lehmann was later booked for violent conduct, and the home manager now accepts the axe is hovering.
We all know it's there. That's why if you come into the job, a certainty is that you're going to be leaving, whether it's your own making or whether it's somebody else's making. It's the end result's the same, that you do leave. I've been in that situation before, but I've got a belief in the team and the club, very much so. And it's just disappointing when you do the work during the week and everything else, send them out there, and then they don't give us as good as they should do, because we have set good standards and high standards this year, but we're not up there now.
Not much going right for Motherwell, that's for sure, but as you said earlier, Paul, it's been a good week for you, and that's 3 important points, isn't it?
It certainly was. We got a great start, a great cross from Charlie Miller, and if you notice, Jim Hamilton, when he got across the defenders, it was a really accurate header, Dougie. and what a great start for us.
Yeah, a real boost for you, because you're obviously disappointed to lose Stephen Thompson, and Big Jim comes in and gets you 2 goals. So that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, what more can you ask for? You know, an internationalist going out, and obviously Jim coming in and doing the needful with 2 valuable goals.
Yeah. What sort of targets have you set? I know that's in some ways an impossible question, but you want to get away from where you are, obviously, and presumably you feel you've got the players there to move up the league.
Yeah, certainly we do want to get out the bottom end, and I think it's important not to set any targets, because if you do, then sometimes it comes unstuck.
Yeah.
So we're just delighted that we're going through an even keel.
Yeah. It seems as well, we've talked about this before, Paul, there's not much between every other team in the league really out with the old firm. Consistency is the one thing you've got to try to find, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct. I think if you score the first goal and in the league games, you've got a better than even chance you're going to at least pick up the 3 points.
Yeah. And just a quick word, Gordon, because I know you were at Fir Park yesterday. What was your feeling about the game?
I think it was helped a lot for Dundee United by the great start they had. I think Motherwell, when your confidence might not be high because you're on a bad run, you've got a home match against one of your closest rivals. The last thing you need is a 30-second goal.
Sure.
They're always chasing it. I think Motherwell are lacking a little bit in terms of the confidence and turning things around, getting the chances, and they keep falling behind in games when they're doing quite well. I was at a Livingston game a few weeks ago and ended up with a heavy defeat, but they didn't play badly at all. But to be honest with you, that's relegation form, because when you're playing well and not getting results, you can't even look forward to a spell when you're going to be turning it around and playing actually better football.
Yeah.
They're actually playing pretty well, but it's just not happening for them.
Yeah, and the real difficulty is everybody knows Terry Butcher has got good young players and maybe lacks a couple of older heads, but there's no money to bring them in.
There's not. I mean, and he's also without players yesterday, important players. Lasley, not available, Leach and McFadden, of course, who wasn't there. So he's not got a huge squad to choose from. He's given lots of young players their chance. They're well organised. They really do fight hard. They work for 90 minutes, which is great. They did a little flurry at the end. Maybe if they'd done it a bit earlier, they may have got something from it. But they're limited. The resources are limited because of their circumstances, financial circumstances.
Dunfermline significantly now 5 points clear of Hearts in third place after their 3-1 win this afternoon. And down at the bottom, Motherwell dropping 3 points behind Thistle and 4 behind Dundee United.